back, we looked at the wall, and he looked at me and my brother and said, now don't y'all never tell me that you can't do something, and walked into the shop. As a child, my parents always told me you could be whatever you want to be, you could do whatever you want to do. And you know, that office, that position, the highest office on the face of the earth, it was something I heard my parents saying it, but I didn't totally believe it. Yet I went out in the world and I carried myself and I held my head high and I stood there and I looked people in their eyes and I talked to people as if I was deserving of everything that this planet has to offer.
At me and he said, son, I said, yes, sir. He said, I want you to pull that other person outside of you today. And in my mind, I'm thinking it's not another person out here. What is he talking about? It's 4:30, it's dark. He kept walking, he looked up again, he said, son, I said, yes, sir. He said, I want you to pull that other person outside of you today. Yes, sir. But in my mind at this point, I'm saying, man, he's trying to talk his way out of this thing. So the third time he said, son, I stepped back, I said, listen, Pops, no disrespect. You have a job, I get it. You may be tired. I said, so you can go back in the house, you can go to sleep. It's no hard feelings, but you can't stop me from running to this fire station. I'm running whether you go or not. And he said, son, the thing I'm trying to get you to understand is this, Ink. Son, there is another person inside of you, son. The thing I'm trying to get you to understand is this, Ink. No matter how hard you work, there is somebody inside of you that works even harder. Said, son, no matter how dedicated you are, there is somebody inside of you that's more dedicated. Son, no matter how committed you are, there is somebody inside of you that's more committed. But the thing I want you to understand, there will come a point in time where you will hit a piece of adversity that's a lot tougher than you, son. And every day you get up, you have to have a greater purpose for why you do what you do, and to get up and keep going and executing whatever you do, son. That is what I'm trying to get you to understand. It's a lot bigger than running to the fire station. I'm trying to get you to push yourself to a point that you have never been to before.
That these motivational speakers have in common is that they've always had, you know, their mom or their dad or someone who's really close to them, you know, that was able to motivate them or teach them some sort of wisdom, you know, that can help them during the most difficult times of their life, you know. And, you know, when I think back to my life, you know, how can I relate to these people? You know, all my life, you know, my dad used to always tell me that I'm too small, or I'm never going to be as good as white people or black people or Hispanics, you know. And my mom used to always tell me I'm never going to be big enough. I'm never going to be, you know, the greatest because I'm so small, you know. I need to stop doing all these crazy activities and stuff, you know. And, you know, when I came back from Junior Worlds, you know, during my second time when I represented the country 2 times, you know, I came back and my dad was talking to my uncle and he said that, yeah, Hmong people, we're never going to be great, we're never going to be the best, you know. And I was just sitting here thinking, like, this guy knows nothing about what I've just done, what I just came back from, and then he's going to tell me that he supports what I do, right? The only thing my dad and my mom has ever told me was, go to school, please, just finish school and everything will be great, right? But what happened when they got a divorce and they left us, and myself with nowhere to go, nobody to stay with, you know what I mean? All these family who I'm no longer associated with because now I am known as an orphan, right? Within the Hmong community, I've realized that I didn't have that person to tell me to keep pushing forward when my life sucked. I didn't have anybody to tell me to keep moving forward when I was hungry and starving. I didn't have anybody, you know what I mean? Luckily, I had a few friends, you know, and I'll never forget, you know, Xiao Yang and Philip Tao, and they kind of accepted me into their house, you know, people who are not my family. So the greatest lesson that I've ever learned is all the things that I didn't learn and I wasn't told, and, you know, the feelings that I've acquired, you know, of being lonely, of being hungry, of struggling, and, you know, knowing what it's like to go through a divorce, knowing what it's like to not have that family bond that you needed the most when you were brought up to believe that your life is surrounded by family, surrounded by brothers and sisters, but all that just went down the drain. And as we continue to live our life, I guess what I'm trying to say is, you know, we can learn to be better. We can learn to be better husbands and wives, and we can learn to show people that, you know, even though life is hard, training is hard, losing weight is hard, you know, trying to learn all these things is very difficult. But when we overcome these things, we can teach people about what it is that we can do to be better, what it is that we could do to be a better person overall.